Oh man, I'm not gonna hold you guys. Gyfins, this spot, I swear to God, this shit about to make me act up. Gyfins is insane. Never thought I'd see the day that this spot falls back into relevancy without getting the like PC update where you go into lower Gyfins, but the upper levels have kind of just been dead for so long. As far as I can even remember from me starting to play the game, up until this update, this place has been pretty much dog ass for a while. Not to mention it was kind of like a good XP spot, I think, a while back, but then it got changed and then it just became dead after that. But now it's the local hotspot. It's pretty much, if you're not grinding here, then you're not really grinding, because this is probably the best group grind spot in the game. It's not even probably, it most definitely is. And I mean the most practical group grind spot, because Olin's, once again, only like a few people can grind it that are really like, they're dedicated to the group. They can actually use the mechanics properly, and you know, certain classes that can go there that do more effectively, like Suck Striker, pretty much are like the only classes that are ever sought after for Olins, and Shies of course, until their undemised nerf, which will, you know, eventually happen. But with that being said, Gyfins is pretty much the go-to spot for group grinding, and also just money in general. It can be as good as 650 mil an hour at a maximum, and you can even get as high as 800 if you're really RNG carried with, you know, belts and Kafras, and you know, if you got a good group, you can easily pull 25k an hour. So let's get into my hour here. So I've only done Gyfins I think 3 times, and it's just, for one, I can't really grind it because it's just a hell zone. And personally, I'd rather grind in peace than, you know, add people to the mob rotations. Definitely not trying to do that because that cuts trash per hour. So I only got a few hours in of like freedom with grinding. So like I said, very hot zone. And if you're grinding on Archer, you're never going to grind, period. So don't go expecting to always have a rotation here, because guarantee you every siege guild is currently here right now. So if you're like a new player or a person that's like geared but don't have people to, you know, pull up with you, this is not the spot for you. This is just not the spot for you. You'll have every siege guild breathing down your neck. It is not for you. Anyway, back to the trash loot here. So we pulled 24.2k. I could have easily pulled 25, but it was like the first time, and like we were like pulling the mobs kind of everywhere. Plus I'm playing Suck Zerker, so I'm kind of speed running a little bit. So I probably missed a few trash every here and there, but easy 25k. And this translates to about like, oh man, it's a lot. It's the trash loot values got changed to 16.7. So if we do 16,700 and we times that by, we'll just round up to 25k just because that's like usually the average. That's 417 million silver. And this is with Agris, mind you. So obviously if you cut this down, you're probably going to be more on the lines of like probably 350 million, which is still very, very solid for group grinding. But 417 for pretty much 1 hour of Agris, which is very, very good. And then we add the Kafras on top of it, which is 34. That translates to about like 80-ish mil. So we're just going to put 80 mil there. And that's 497. We got a tongue belt. Currently, they're kind of in the toilet. So it's like they're barely worth like 86 million, which is what you're probably going to sell it for. So about 583 million silver. And then if we factor in like the ancient dust, maybe just for a little bit more Kafras. I mean, I'm not going to, because like, who gives a shit? But it is what it is. But basically bordering 600 million silver in one singular hour. That's pretty good. And by pretty good, that is very, very solid. For just the sake of like just kind of putting that into a larger picture here, let's say you do Gyfins for 3 hours, right? That is 1.7 billion. If you can sustain that kind of momentum at that level every single hour, you're basically making almost 2 bill in 3 hours. Now let's say that's kind of your cap out, right? You know, you do 3 hours a day, you do that for 7 days a week, you're looking at 12 billion a week, and then you do that times 4 for 4 weeks in a month, and then you're looking at 49 billion silver, 49 billion silver a month from 3 hours of Gyfins. Granted, that's with Agris, and you obviously, you know, that's, you have to let it charge, so that's this, you know, give or take here. So, but still, the fact of the matter is 49 billion silver a month. That's a pen accessory right there. Basically for a month of just 3 hours a day. Just to put things into like a different perspective, trees is about 350 mil an hour, which is, you know, that's pretty good. That's actually very solid. But, you know, you only do that for 3 hours a day. You're looking at a bill. So, I mean, Don't get me wrong, that's still good. I'm not knocking trees, but you know, in comparison, it's like, bro, I might as well just, you know, 700 mil more for the same amount of work. That's a lot of money. Plus the tongue belts are worth more. So, you know, the larger picture here is tongue belts just kind of, even though they're, you know, in the shitter, they're still worth more. At the end of the day, it is what it is. The grind spot is very, very good. If you can get a nice breezy couple hours in, you know, you're making bank. You're making bands like easily. But if you're, you know, in a siege guild, or you're, you know, not on protection, or like you can't find friends to do the, you know, the grind with, this can be, you know, not really a good spot. As for me, like I said, because I'm in a siege guild and I've got, you know, decks all over the place, it's just not really a feasible grind for me. And usually I'm like active during the afternoon hours, which is, again, that's like the hot hours where everyone's online, so the chances of me running into someone are very, very likely. And I really don't feel like fighting 4 or 5 people, and I don't think 4 or 5 people want to fight a DP striker. Like, I'm just not trying to do that, bro. I'm just not trying to do any of that. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.